Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. You may kindly take your seat. Mr. Witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters, I want to remind you that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Thank you. Madam Chair, over to you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
Good afternoon, Madam.
You're welcome back.
Thank you.
Council, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioners and the witness. We are to continue from where we stopped, but I would like to show you one of the SMT minutes of meetings held on the 6th of March 2020 at 9:05. Please read 2.6.
Thank you.
Where are those memos I gave you? Memory. What I gave you for the directive. No, John.
The Lord Mayor expressed his dissatisfaction with their conduct and said it was unacceptable. He asked them to collect not less than $2,500,000 from henceforth.
2.7.
He told the Director of Services to fast-track the appointment of one Kemo Fati, who had wealthy experience in environmental matters.
Thank you. May I please have that document? Now, if you do not take part in the decision making on day-to-day affairs of council, like you've stressed continuously, why will you task the Director of Services to fast-track the appointment of one Kemo Fati?
Well, I have to refer back to Kemo Fati's appointment letter, but right. I assume the Appointments and Establishment Committee appointed Kemo Fati.
No, I am concerned about the role you play on a daily basis. Remember, you have already stressed throughout that you do not interfere. You just only advise. You just only guide them. You don't give instructions. And then, as far as I am concerned with respect to the investigations I have done, it appears that that would not be the case. I had told you that the evidence of the CEOs is contrary to what you have said. Now, that does not make the evidence is right. The SMTs that you have attended, the one I have just shown you, the one for this on the 6th of March 2020 at 9:05, just as you have read, clearly showed that you were given instructions.
Can you please present me with the evidences of the CEO, number one? Number two, when I say task, it doesn't mean that is an instruction. So I would like to be furnished with also the Kemo Fati's appointment, if that's possible, please.
So when the minutes read that he told the Director of Services to fast-track the appointment of one Kemo Fati, to fast-track the appointment of one Kemo Fati, what does that mean?
It means maybe Kemo Fati is already appointed and I want them to fast-track.
Maybe.
That's why I want to be furnished with the appointment.
If Kemo Fati is already appointed, there is no need to fast-track the appointment because it's already been done.
Like I said, lead counsel, as the head of the institution, I want to ensure that things are moving smoothly, efficiently, and effectively.
Right.
The point of the senior management meetings is to ensure the council is moving in the right direction to deliver services to our electorate.
Right.
The purpose of the senior management meetings at the office of the Lord Mayor is to ensure I can be a link between the committees, the community, and the administration. So when I call those meetings, when there are things to be done, I apply pressure so that they are done. So doesn't mean that the mayor has appointed Kemo Fati. It means Kemo Fati is appointed, and I would like him to start as soon as possible because we have issues at hand.
Okay, so let's clear one issue. I did not say that you appointed Kemo Fati. So that has to be very clear. And number two, I do not disagree. In fact, I am with the strong conviction that you were performing your functions as per the Local Government Act and the relevant laws. The point I am trying to buttress on is the idea that you want to paint a picture to show that you only advise, that you do not make decisions. And so I'm giving you multiple cases where you have made decisions, and we even have some memos I will show you subsequently. And so that when you read, or anyone reads, this means that you have attended, that you were talking to the Director of Services, and the words read again 2.7, that he told the Director of Services to fast track the appointment of one Kemo Fati. That does not seem to be an advice. It's an instruction.
Lead counsel, like I said, there is a guidance. If I appointed Kemo Fati, then meaning I am making executive decisions. If Kemo Fati is appointed and there's a need in the community, it is my role to say there's a problem, please fast track and ensure this man starts to alleviate that problem. That does not make me part of the administration. I would like to again say that the senior management have their own meetings. It's called the senior leadership, something like that, meeting at the council.
Right.
Where all the operational hands of the council are there.
Right.
My meeting with the management of the council, like I said,
right,
is for information, guidance,
right,
advice, and to ensure that the wishes of the general council are being accomplished.
Okay. So what part of this is a guidance? What part of the statement? Or is it again a language issue?
I think maybe it's a language issue. I said fast track, meaning the action has already been done. I want it to be faster.
No, but if action is already been done, what is there left to do?
Well, I've already submitted my response.
I know you have submitted a response. It doesn't make sense to me. That's why I'm saying that if action has already been done, an appointment has already been made, what is there to fast track?
The speed at which the appointment is being done.
It was already done, you remember?
No, but the man has not started. That's why I said fast track.
How do you know that?
Well, clearly the minutes state so.
Let me give you back the minutes so that you show us where it has stated the appointment has already been done, but the man has not started yet.
No, that's why I asked you, lead counsel. I said, unless I'm furnished with the full information, I cannot answer to completion. But given the language that is there, what I am implying is, please ensure that this man starts as soon as possible.
Who will furnish you the information? You are the
Well,
mayor
I can
of...
get back and find the information if you wish.
Come again, sir?
I can get back and find the full information if you
Okay,
wish.
so if you need time to always get back, I think it will only be fair to you that we give you time. But the only issue I have is with the wardens and the minutes. There is nowhere it has suggested that the appointment was already done and you are only fast tracking it for the witness to start work. The minutes are clear. I think there is no ambiguity in it. You have given an instruction for the fast tracking of the appointments. May I please have the minutes?
An instruction would mean I would put it in writing. I have not given an instruction. This is a conversation at a general management.
So if there is an SMT, Mr. Bensouda, in which you have attended and which you are the chairman, which has been signed, you are saying that's just a discussion?
Yes.
It's a discussion. Yes. And so in those discussions, even if you give instructions, they are not binding, no? My
instructions are in writing.
In writing?
I would not give instructions verbally. It means there's a discussion, and my wish is for the appointment to be fast tracked.
But if there are minutes of meetings, nobody just writes whatever they say in meetings so that everybody sends whatever they say in writing. Meetings are, this kind of meetings are verbal, so that there is a secretary. There is someone that takes minutes of meetings so that whatever anyone says is written, so that you can always query it. You can always go over it and say, well, I did not say this. I had never said that. And so then you have the opportunity. Was that ever done?
In general administration, especially in KMC, instructions are put in writing.
No, that's not the
In a
question.
meeting where I say, mayor has tasked,
Yes,
that would not even be my language.
right.
I will probably say, please try and fast track this process.
Oh.
So that's why I say mayor has tasked, not mayor has instructed.
No.
My instructions will be expressed in writing.
Did you query these minutes? That's the question.
That's why I'm saying it's a matter of the interpretation you have, which
Okay,
is very different from the real picture and my interpretation.
Now let me ask you one question. The minutes were signed by Dembo S. Sane, Director of Compliance for Director of Administration. Are these minutes false? You have already identified these minutes and you have already said here that these are the SMT minutes. Do you have a problem with what Dembo wrote?
Council, I believe we are arguing about interpretation.
No, Mr.
I am telling you what has happened.
Mr. Bensouda.
Meaning, I do not instruct appointments. I do not instruct operational matters.
Right.
What I do is try to make sure things happen.
I agree.
When I see problems in the field,
Right,
I come to the directors and say, try and ensure
right,
that this problem is solved.
right.
That does not mean I am the one making, doing the action.
Right.
I am the one bringing them to their attention.
Right.
Which is in line.
Now, avoid.
The question is not answered. Mayor Bensouda, the council asked whether the minutes that were signed by Karamo, were they correct and reflective of what was discussed at that meeting? Are they correct minutes? And are they reflective of what was discussed at that meeting?
The meetings signed by the Director of Compliance
Yes.
on behalf of the Director of Administration.
Yes.
Like I said, minutes.
Are they correct?
I cannot confirm whether they are correct. Unless, like I said, I am reading this. This happened a long time ago.
Okay. All right. We will give you time
Thank you, madam.
to cross-check whether there was any contrary views raised about what has been said in those minutes. Council, you may proceed.
Yes, minutes are usually reviewed, and then if there are corrections to be made, they are made. And then if the witness asks for time to get back to us, we can still wait. May I please have my minutes back? If I look for 8.2, I can see it. Now, I have also other documents I will want to bring to your attention. The first is a memo from your office. But before that, yes, a memo from your office, the Lord Mayor, addressed to the Acting Chief Executive Officer. The date is 27th of June 2019. Now, please have a look at this document.
Thank you.
You recognize that memo?
Yep.
All right. Do you mind reading that memo, please?
It is dated 27 June 2019. It says allocation of vehicle. May I inform you that my passport, which is in the Canadian Embassy in Senegal, is due for collection. In light of the above, I hereby direct that you allocate a vehicle and driver to the public relations manager, who is the authorized recipient to travel to Senegal from May 1st to Wednesday, 4th of July 2019 to receive the passport on my behalf.
Now,
please facilitate their travel and allowances accordingly.
thank you. May I have that document? Now, you have told us that if you direct, you put it in writing. Did you direct on this one?
This letter was drafted on my behalf by the Clerk of Council and I signed it, yes.
Mr. Bensouda, really? Is that your excuse all the time? There's always, you never take responsibility, even if it is clear?
It is not an excuse. What I'm putting to the chairperson and the commissioners is that the letter was...
You cannot put to us. You are to clarify, answer the questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
I believe, I trust that you understand that you cannot put questions to us and you cannot put questions to the council, right? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. What I'm clarifying, Madam Chair, is that when the mayor, I don't type letters, I don't write letters. Letters are written on my behalf by the clerk. True, I endorsed it and I did not see anything wrong with the letter, but the word direct, I do not direct the CEO, though I cannot claim that I did not read the letter. I signed it because it was an issue where my passport had to be retrieved. So therefore, yes, I will say that I signed the letter.
Mr. Bensouda, you see, the issue is when we deny things, especially when they are not clear, it's understandable. But when your evidence is the very evidence that has led us to the writings, you had led us, after showing you several communications and minutes of meetings that are endorsed and signed, and the words are clear that you have deviated. Now you had said just not long ago that when you direct, you put it in writing. And now I have shown you a document that you have directed and it is in writing. You are now trying to not admit.
Let me give you a better explanation.
We don't need a better explanation.
Of course. Because
no, hear me out. I did not request a better explanation. I request that you tell us whether this is your letter or not.
It is a letter that came from my office, yes, and I signed it.
So it is your letter?
Yes, it's a letter from my office.
So it's even a problem to say it is my letter. You see how it is, how it works? Accountability is not easy. We understand it, but we must do it. It's not easy, but we must do it. The letter is very clear. It's explicit, very, very clear that it is written by the Lord Mayor, addressed to the Chief Executive Officer. And the wordings are clear that may I inform you that my passport, which is at the Canadian Embassy, is in Senegal, is due for collection. In light of the above, I hereby direct that you allocate a vehicle. Now, I believe you have these powers. I believe it. I have said it time and again. The only problem we have is you had already said yesterday that you don't have these powers. And if we were to go by that, that will be contrary to how you were operating.
Can you clarify which powers?
The powers to take part in management, the powers to oversee the actions of the officer, of the day-to-day management, the CEO reporting to you. The idea that the law says you are the head of council, and so that's why you have an office there. So my belief is that you have those powers.
With respect, that letter has nothing to do with the day-to-day management of the council. That letter is in regard to my person. My personal passport is in Senegal, where a visa is being issued at the Canadian Embassy to facilitate my travels. I am hereby informing the CEO to facilitate the public relations manager, who is the mandated officer, based on the time I was submitting is the name we left behind, to pick up my passport for 4 days.
Okay.
The CEO came back to my office and said, Mayor, 4 days is excessive.
Right.
We cannot send somebody to collect a passport for 4 days.
Right.
Therefore, it should be 2 days. I told him, then you are right.
Okay.
He minuted in that very memo to the Director of Finance, rejecting my 4 days, but approving 2 days only. So if I directed him, meaning he would not have wiggle way.
No.
So that's why I was trying to clarify.
No.
The letters that are drafted on behalf of the mayor are not typed by the mayor. True, I sign it, so I must take responsibility for that. But that in no way implies that I partake in day-to-day management of the council. If that letter didn't have to do with my passing, then it would not have emanated in that way.
You agree that you wrote this letter not in your private capacity as Mr. Bensouda, but in your capacity as the mayor of KMC?
But Mr. Bensouda is the mayor.
Okay, very well.
That's why I said it's in regard to my passing.
You have private interests that are not council's interests, correct?
But I'm the same person.
No, answer the question. You see, it is not difficult to answer the question. You see, when it is a problem that if you answer the question, it would not make you look bad. This is a question that is so basic. Do you have a private interest that has nothing to do with council's interest? It's a very simple question.
Every human being, yes.
Exactly. Now, so that when you write letters, it has to be distinguished. Whether you are writing a letter based on your official capacity or in your private capacity. And this was in your official capacity as mayor, correct?
That's why I said it was written on behalf of the mayor's office, which explanation you did not want to hear.
No,
meaning the clerk, council, I think, allow me to say.
No, the idea, the fact that you said I don't want to hear.
That's why I said, if in fact it was a direction, the CEO would not have the ability or authority to use his discretion.
Right.
The CEO used his discretion and said, no, your 4 days is not possible.
Right.
That is not something I will approve.
Right.
I will only approve 2 days.
Right.
And this is my argument from the beginning.
Right.
The mayor does not have the authority or the ability to instruct the CEO. The CEO has his discretion because he's the chief accounting officer of the council. And that's the evidence in front of you, where I asked for 4 days and he thought that was excessive and something that he cannot approve and brought it down to 2 days.
Let's clear something. See, when we speak like that, it appears as if there are documentations to prove that. It will suggest that there are correspondence that you have sent, making request, and then you have a reply in writing. You see, remember, in writing, that it is hereby rejected, we can only approve 2 days.
But
go ahead.
But in the memo you're holding,
right,
you will see I said 4 days, the CEO minuted and said 1. Director of Finance,
yes,
I approve 2 days.
Right.
That shows and in evidence, right, that the CEO has discretion and I cannot direct or control the CEO as a mayor.
No. Let me be clear. I did not say that. I had said, what I'm saying is very clear, that the issue here is that you as mayor firmly believe, and it is demonstrated in several correspondences, that you can give instructions. Let me give you another one. We have the voucher number PV 201643. Arrange this one, please. Are you familiar with that voucher?
Yeah.
Good. Now, what is that voucher about?
The voucher is payment of 15,000 for the medical treatment of our chairman of Establishment and Appointment Committee who was sick, and he requested to the CEO for support on treatment.
Okay. Can you please respectfully read the memo?
It says, Madam, I am been very sick all this while. It is getting severe day by day. In view of the above, I hereby write to request for medical support of $10,000 to take care of my medical bills. The CEO writes to my office in the memo and says, Lord Mayor, review and advise. I respond, I say, I ask DOS to take him to the clinic and payment made. However, make it a retireable impress.
You minuted on the, please proceed.
The Director of Finance writes, approved to pay an impress of 15,000 to be retired accordingly.
Okay, so you minuted on the document, correct?
The CEO asked me to review and advise. Yes, and I minuted in the affirmative.
Yes, and then your minute was what? Please read it again.
I said I had already asked the Director of Services to take him to the clinic and payment made.
And payment made.
Yes, by the Director of Services. However, make it a retireable impress.
Yes.
So it's two different sentences.
Right.
One is that I am informing him that I had already asked the Director of Services to take him to the hospital and pay on his behalf.
Right.
Which is not the CEO or the Director of Finance. Then I add another sentence. I said, however, meaning now speaking to the CEO's request for advice on the payment on his medical bills, make it a retireable impress.
Why do you do this?
He's asking me for advice.
No, why?
I'm a counselor.
No, why do you not just interpret the wordings honestly? Why do you have...
Madam Chair, I believe the council has spoken before and said what I said is untrue. And I think that is, in my opinion, an insult to my office and person. I am the one submitting evidence. Now he's saying that I have to be honest. I have no reason to be dishonest. I am presenting evidence. Based on your interpretation, we may have misunderstandings, but I would take it as an insult to my person and office if you say what I'm submitting here is untrue or dishonest. So please, I would ask you to refrain from that.
I will not. Madam Chair, the requirement of the law your writing was addressed to the CEO, correct?
Yes.
Good. And who was the CEO at the time?
I don't see the name of the CEO, but I assume it's Jaja Cham.
Okay. All right. And then, if you can just kindly just repeat the reading of what you wrote to Jaya Cham.
So I said, CEO, I asked the Director of Services to take him to the clinic and payment be made. However, make it a retirable impress.
Yes.
There is nothing dishonest about what I've submitted.
Okay.
I respect the commissioner, I respect the commission, I've respected the chairleader and yourself, and I have high regard for the work you're doing here. Madam Chair, I apologize if you see any offense, but I said, without turning around as you have implied, that Habib, when he was sick, he came to me and said, Mayor, I am sick, before he wrote to the CEO, because it was an emergency. I believe this was 2020, during the time of COVID. He came from a retreat with Galga, I believe, I remember. The deputy mayor called me on the way. He said, Habib has collapsed. I took the telephone, I spoke to Habib. He told me, Mayor, I believe I'm going to die. I believe it's that instance. So I asked the Director of Services, please, rush to the clinic, pay and treat Habib. Whatever you pay, at the time I was not even thinking about the council. I was thinking even I will pay for Habib. In a second instance, I sent Habib to Afrimet, where I paid from my personal money. That was not from the council. And you can call him any day and have that clarification, because he told me he was going to die. So when the CEO's memo came, that's why I said it's two different instances. I told him, oh, I have already taken action on this matter. However, you can give him money and make a retirable impress because he's asking for my advice. So that is the truth of what has happened.
I don't deny the truth. And I would not say that I in any way think that what was done was wrong. Again, this is not the point I am arguing from. I had stated clearly that my position genuinely is that you have the right to do what you did. So I am not attacking the process or the genuinity of the process. I would not do that. I will never do that. And where I don't see anything to hold you accountable for, I would not do that. So that the only issue as to why I'm asking you this question is in relation to the fact that you were taking part in managerial affairs. And that's why I asked, if you look at the wordings, of the minutes, it's very clear. You had told the CEO what is to be done. You had said to the CEO, I had asked DOS to take him to clinic and payment made. However, make it a retireable impress. You can only retire, you will agree with me, you can only retire something that was given to you. If money was given to you, that is what you retire. Is that not the case?
I disagree with your assessment. The CEO only wrote to me,
right,
because it is a councillor,
right,
and councillors are under the mayor's office. That's the only reason he wrote to me.
Right.
This councillor wrote to the CEO directly. He did not write to my office.
Right.
He wrote to the CEO for the CEO to help him with medical support.
Right.
The CEO, at his discretion,
right,
asked for my advice. I did not deny that if a CEO asks for my advice or guideline, I will give it to him. But as clearly says, he says, Mayor, please advise. So I informed him, I have already taken initiative, because I was thinking this is a matter of life and death.
Right.
I was informing him, I have already taken initiative. The Director of Service has no access to finance.
Right.
The Director of Service was the head of the COVID response of KMC at the time.
Yes.
He was the one equipped to help people with COVID.
Right.
Habib's symptoms, he told me he believes he has COVID. That's why I said Director of Service. I did not even think about the administration of the council,
right,
because that's bureaucratic. I said, Director, go and take him and pay for his medical treatment ASAP. I did not even contact the CEO. But when this memo came, the CEO told me the councillor is asking for medical support, I'm informing him. I have already asked the Director of Services to take action and make payment, not of the council.
Okay.
However, you can issue him a retirable impress and make sure he retires it. So that's the CEO asking me for advice and me giving my advice. Then number 3, you see the Director of Finances approved.
Yes.
These are the authorizing officers.
All right.
If the CEO wanted my approval, he'll say, Mayor, I seek your approval and your authority. He did not say that. He said, Mayor, please advise. And even the memo before that, where I said, CEO, please ensure this lady, or I direct you to give this lady a vehicle to go to Senegal. At his discretion, he said, no, I cannot give her 4 days, I'm going to give her 2 days, which shows the CEO is at his discretion to take advice from the mayor, directive of the mayor or not.
Can I come back? Good. The first thing is that no subordinate is mandated to follow unlawful instructions or orders. So that even if you can direct someone who is your subordinate in any walks of life, and the person thinks that what you are directing him or her is unlawful, the person can decline. And so that it only can be reviewed by a higher authority, so that the CEO telling you, I cannot pay, I'm paid 4, but I can only pay 2. Yes, because he also has a role. Not that he's a rubber stamp, that whatever you say that they do, or any person directing, that's not what we are saying when it comes to directing. We are now just looking into your role as a mayor in KMC. So if you look at the CA, it says review and advise, that you are to review the request and advise the course of action. Now you look at your reply, you talk about impress. What is there to retire? Which impress is there to retire if money was not given?
On the first part, the request for 4 days, there's nothing illegal about that. It is just wrong judgment because I'm not an administrator. In my idea of when I go to Senegal to get my passport, many things can go wrong.
Right.
So you allocate enough time.
Right.
But with the CEO's experience, he's saying no, 2 days is sufficient.
Good.
But my request, there's nothing illegal about it. On the second part, like I said, he asked for advice. My advice is issue a retirable impress. If the CEO wanted my authority, he'll ask for my authority. But what I'm telling you on this commission is I had already acted in what I believe was a move to save the life of the councillor. Not only did I ask the Director of Services, who was our head response for COVID, Lamin Sanyang, to go and take him to the clinic immediately and use whatever money he has to pay for him. I was not even thinking about the council. I had issued the councillor my own personal money to go get treatment at Afrimed. I called Dr. Jan directly. And you may invite the councillor and those involved at any point in time. But what I am saying, the CEO says, Mayor, please advise. And I said, I have already taken action in one part. But you can give him a retirable impress that he can retire.
No, you did not say that. You see, the first thing to discuss here is that when the CEO or any other person in that form or capacity or in a subordinate position or position of authority, when you instruct, for instance, in this case, that the CEO must pay 4 days, if the CEO is to pay 4 days and it is not in line with financial regulation, it will be illegal or unlawful or both. Right? So I didn't say your application will be illegal. Anyone can request anything. But the person approving is also guided by principles and regulation. That's what I was addressing. The second issue is that there is nothing in your minutes that suggests, one, that DOS was paying from his pocket. Do you agree with that?
I disagree with that.
Okay. Now, what is there to suggest that you have asked the DOS to pay from his pocket? I
said, if you read my memo, I said, I have already asked the Director of Services to take him to the clinic and pay.
And payments made.
Everybody in local governance knows Directors of Services have no access to council funds. So that automatically shows that the Director of Services is paying out of pocket. This engagement letter came after I have already acted, without asking the finance director or the CEO.
So what is
I
it?
am telling you now, it is because I have already started paying the councillors' bills out of pocket.
So
I
what-
believe the bill was $10,000 here, which I paid out of pocket for the councillor.
What is the impress for?
They asked me for advice that the councillor,
Yes.
remember, the councillor initiated an action
Yes.
asking for support directly from the CEO,
Right.
not my office. The CEO took the initiative
Right.
at his discretion
Right.
to ask for my advice.
Right.
I informed him of the actions I have already taken.
Yes.
However,
Yes.
telling him that he may, based on his request for advice,
Right.
take an impress and issue to the councillor. Then you see the Director of Finances approved.
No, Mr. Bensouda, there is nothing in this letter. Let me read it again. It says, I have been very sick. I have been very sick all this while, and it's getting severe by the day. In view of the above, I hereby write to request. See, the wordings of the letter did not suggest that Habib or the person involved, the chairman of the establishment committee, was sick and there was an emergency case at that point in time that he was in the hospital. If that is the fact, that is not what is embedded in this letter. It says, I have been very sick all this while, and it is getting severe by the day. In view of the above, I hereby write to request for medical support of 10,000 to take care of my medical bills. That's what the letter says.
Yes. And
Exactly.
okay,
No, go ahead, sir.
yeah, so I'm informing you
Right?
that Habib's sickness took days.
Right?
But initially when he was sick,
Right?
I tasked the Director of Services to run to, I believe he was in Birkama,
Right?
coming from Mansakonko Area Council,
Right?
from a Galga retreat.
Right?
The deputy mayor called me, I remember.
Yes.
She was not the deputy mayor then.
Right.
They were together in the vehicle.
Right.
The deputy mayor gave the phone to Habib. That's why at that time I had asked the Director of Services to intervene.
Right.
This letter came after the fact, where now Habib's ongoing illness has prompted him to write to the CEO asking for medical support. The CEO could have said approve without me and that wouldn't matter because that is his right, that is his authority. But the CEO took the discretion, seeing that he's dealing with the councillor. And I believe they do that for precedence because other councillors may come. So he informed me that I am seeking your advice, and I informed him of actions I already took. Then I am telling him that you can issue him with a retirable impress based on the advice he's asking. He doesn't need my advice and he doesn't need to take my advice.
When you first said in this matter, maybe you did not factor in that the letter came after the fact. So your explanation, from what I understood, is that there was an urgent issue. You asked the Director of Finance, DOS, Director of Services, to pay from his pocket and then ask for retirement to give Habib. The letter, you will agree with me, did not have anywhere in it that suggests that Habib was hospitalized prior to this, correct?
I did not say Habib was hospitalized.
Okay.
I said,
I agree, I
Like I
agree.
said.
I agree with that. So it did not say anywhere.
the memo is very short. I am here to provide you the evidence and the context
Right.
of that memo.
Right.
I wrote 2 lines.
Right.
I did not write a long story.
Right.
I just said, I have already asked the Director of Services to pay for the treatment of Habib. However, the reason I say however, because the memo has come and caught me off guard. I said, however, since he's requesting for this for medical support directly from your office, and you are seeking advice, you can issue him with an impress.
Yes.
I think it's very clear.
But Mr. Bensouda, that is what we are saying. That's exactly what we are saying. I have told you the genuineness of the payment is not the question here. The question here is the first minute, the CEO said, Lord Mayor, review and advise.
Yes.
The second minute, you immediately to the CEO, I asked the US to take him to the clinic and payment made, and however, make it a retirable impress. Because, and the third minute, the US said approved to pay from the mayor, sorry, the CEO, approved to pay an impress of $15,000 to be retired accordingly.
So the CEO is asking for advice. The CEO is asking me for advice.
For review and advice.
Unsolicited advice.
For review and...
That's what
that was the structure.
That's not the structure.
That's the structure.
This is one of a few payments. Like I said, it is the discretion. I think our argument is whether I'm in the day-to-day dealings of the council or not. KMC, like I said, has $3 billion worth of transactions during my time there as mayor. This is a $15,000 or $10,000 request from a sitting councillor who's part of the council, which I am a chairman of, where the CEO needs advice. Because, like I said, the CEOs do not like dealing with the councillors directly. That is why, in this matter, he is asking me for my advice.
Don't downplay it. Don't downplay $15,000. Some people don't downplay $15,000.
No, I am saying that if at all I am actively part of the council's endorsements of payments, it would be in the hundreds of millions or billions in writing.
We will come to that. Wait a minute. Don't downplay the $15,000 because to some, they don't even earn that. My issue here is that before we went on break, you had said that let us bring evidence that you had cleared some payments, or you had endorsed some payments, or you had anything to do with payments. We are showing you minutes of or transactions that you yourself minuted in relation to giving your position regarding payments.
Councillor, I disagree. This is not evidence of me partaking in payments. This is advice from the CEO seeking advice on the matter of the councillor, which I give. If you ask me for my advice, I will give
That's okay. That's okay. I think we have already read this. It said Lord Mayor review and advice is very consistent with the financial manual, what it says. And so therefore, the moment you approve it, the moment you said, however, make it a retireable interest, it was automatically paid. So that is also very clear. Now we have the another memo. The last one for the day is the memo from the Lord Mayor to the Acting Chief Executive Officer with the subject on ethical behavior of the Acting Debt Manager. Where's this 8.2.16? Please go through it, and then when you are done, I will kindly appreciate if you can read it.
This is a memo, 12 June 2019, from the Office of the Lord Mayor to the Acting Chief Executive Officer, copying the Chairman of the Establishment and Appointment Committee, copying the Director of Finance, copying the Director of Internal Audit, the Acting Debt Manager, copy file, date 12 June 2019. Subject, unethical behavior of the Acting Debt Manager. I have received a complaint from our lawyer regarding the staff she sent to the debt unit to help in the delivery of demand notes. Her staff was allegedly humiliated by the Acting Debt Manager, who rudely asked them to leave his office immediately. This unethical and unprofessional behavior cannot be accepted in council, as we expect our staff to show courtesy to people they encounter, with especially our partners in development. In light of the above, I hereby direct that you look into this matter and take the appropriate action soonest. Saluting your swift action, Talib Bensouda, Lord Mayor. If I may, I can also read the attached, which is the letter from the lawyer.
Yes, please.
On the 11th of June 2019 at 5:30 p.m., the lawyer Yasin, from her email, yasin@sengorlaw.com, emailed to me at talib.bensouda@kanifing.gm. The subject was rates demands. Good afternoon. I trust this email finds you well. I had made arrangements with Kanjura for one of the rate collectors to go with my staff to start delivering the rates demands. Kanjura referred us to the manager, and my staff went to him so that they can start the distribution. He seemed very upset that we are doing the collection and had a lot to say. We will be able to deliver a lot of demands on our own, but there are some properties for which we will need a pointer. Perhaps you can speak to Kanjura and see how we can go about, since the debt manager seems so reluctant to assist. Best regards, Yasin Senghor.
All right. So now, how was this matter handled?
I don't remember. I'll have to find out.
You?
I don't remember how it was handled. I will have to find out.
Okay. May I please say the memo? Now, do you see your language and again repeated in that letter?
I think my language is excellent.
Thank you very much, and I agree entirely. But I'm just particularly concerned about the fact that you here again, you are directing the directors, the mayors and council, you are giving them directives.
As far as governance and discipline is concerned, yes, which is well within my power as mayor.
I agree. And I will read it again. The Lord Mayor wrote to the Chief Executive Officer, giving her or him in 2019, who was there on the 12th of June 2019, do you recall?
Say it again.
Your CEO in 2019, June 2019.
You mean this same letter?
Who was this Chief Executive in this period?
June 2019 must have been Jaja.
Jaja. So you as the Lord Mayor wrote to Jaja Cham, the acting Chief Executive Officer, giving him directives.
As far as governance and discipline is confirmed, yes.
Okay, good. And so therefore the issue of discipline, they are within your purview?
Yes.
How?
The mayors deal with governance, policy, and regulation.
Right.
If a staff is seen to be breaching
our
governance policies, our code of conduct,
yes,
that is within the realms of governance.
Yes.
So I am well within my power to direct an investigation. Remember, I am not prompting to say how it must be investigated or what actions must be taken. I am saying the matter must be looked into and the CEO with his powers do the appropriate action. Meaning I am prompting what is in the role of the mayor, the beginning of deliberations.
How can you direct someone that is not under you?
As far as governance is concerned, the CEO is under the council, and the mayor is to ensure that the council's policies and codes of conduct are being adhered.
So under governance, the CEO is under you?
Not under me, under the council, which I am a member of council.
Yesterday, when I had the cause to put to you failures of council in certain instances, your answers were, I am not council.
I am not council.
Yes.
But if, allow me, council.
I'm allowing
this letter, like I said,
yes,
is about governance, is about policy, is from the lawyer,
right,
as one of our partners.
I agree.
Saying your staff,
right,
has acted rudely towards me.
Yes.
The lawyer writes to me,
right,
I ask the CEO to look into the matter and take the appropriate actions. If the CEO came back and said, Mayor, I have looked into this matter and I'm going to do nothing about it, that's within the CEO's power and authority. So this letter is well placed and well within the authority of the mayor to write. And it is not an administrative issue, it's a governance issue.
No.
The CEO must then take my governance complaint and administratively deal with it. These are the connections.
But you already knew that you don't have these powers. You already knew that you do not supervise, you do not direct the CEO. You had already told the commission yesterday, unless you want to take it back. You already told the commission that you do not direct the CEO, that the CEO is not answerable to you.
I do not direct the CEO on administrative matters. That's why I said.
That's today.
No, please cancel.
That's today.
I am the one delivering evidence.
No, but I'm going to
appreciate if I am listened to full and full.
Go ahead.
I did not say CEO fire, CEO suspend, CEO do this or do that. That would mean I am taking administrative action.
Right.
I have made it very clear. I am not part of the administration. I cannot take administrative action. If not, I will not talk to the CEO. I am saying I have received information, and many instances have happened of fraud, discipline, harassment, community issues, where the matter comes to the office of the mayor. I channel it to the CEO or the appropriate committee or the council to take the appropriate action. Actions which I don't dictate or take part of. I think the lines of communication are very, very, very straightforward.
Did you say yesterday that the CEO is not answerable to you?
As far as the day-to-day running of the council, this is a governance issue.
You see, the problem here is that when you are proven to have acted in the manner that you said you do not do, you now bring exceptions, you now bring excuses, you now bring distinctions. When you gave your evidence yesterday, you said clearly that the CEO is not under your direction and control.
As far as the day-to-day running of the council is concerned, the finances of the council, the human resources of the council, but if the mayor receives a report on governance, on policy, on regulation, on law, it is my responsibility to task the CEO to look into that matter.
I agree with that.
But no, I am not dictating the CEO on what actions to take. Like I said, I am prompting the CEO to investigate the matter. The CEO can A, investigate the matter and say, I have not investigated the matter because I don't care. He can say B, the matter is investigated and nothing has come out of it. Then the course of action for the mayor is to take the matter to the general council.
And he can say that I am not answerable to you.
Of course, he can say that.
But you knew this already. Why would you write a letter if you knew this already?
I receive a letter of any form from any member of public on any matter. It is my role to direct it to the right department.
No.
But what they do with it, how they resolve it, that is the issue. That's why I believe this letter is a good sample of governance. I have received a complaint.
Right.
I am forwarding to you this complaint.
Yes.
Using your powers,
Yes.
your judgment,
Yes.
your discretion to deal with this matter in the best way you see fit. If the CEO came back and said, Mayor, sorry, I cannot deal with this matter, that is well within the remit and authority of the CEO.
But you already knew.
I would do a disservice if I do not direct matters of complaints to the right departments to deal with it.
Back to the merits of the issue. The merits here is not that you are not doing the right thing. The merit here is that you are actively involved in the day-to-day management, and that is what I have been showing you since the morning.
And that's why I said I totally and without reserve disagree.
It's
And
okay.
I believe that has never happened in the history of
Mr. Bensoudà, it's okay.
as far as I'm the mayor.
Mr. Bensoudà, it's okay. I
have
think
delivered my evidence.
it's okay. I believe we have shown you evidences. Then you have asked writings. We have shown you your writings, and then we are waiting for something else that you would ask for. And then now we are only concerned about the fact that these officers are under your direction and control. You know why it is important? They believe so. They said it. Now we don't take their word for it. It is in writing.
Lead counsel, I would like to see the evidence of what CEO believes that they are under my direction and control.
You will see it very soon. You will be here, Mr. Bensoudà. So that when the letter reads, I hereby direct you, there is no ambiguity in this.
On a governance issue, which he can decide at his discretion.
Is the CEO answerable to you on governance issue?
The CEO is answerable to the council, which I am the head of on governance issues.
Why did you not refer the letter to council and council pass a resolution?
Say it again.
Why did you not refer this letter, this complaint to council, and council, the body that which the CEO is answerable to, will deal with the CEO?
The matter was a complaint which I referred to the CEO for his investigation.
Could you not
outcome of the investigation?
Could you not refer
if
this
CEO?
Allow me to finish. You have repeated this several times.
Yes.
Could you not have referred this to the council?
I believe it was eventually referred to the right committee.
No.
This is why, lead counsel, this is why I had copied the appointments and establishment committee in that letter. I have copied all the relevant committees for their attention and investigation.
Could you not refer this to the council? We are now saying that the CEO is answerable to council. That's what we are saying. We are not saying committees.
I think council, maybe you misunderstand how the councils are work.
Entirely how it works, Mr. Bensoudà.
So I am there 7 years, the practical application.
Right.
When there's an issue,
right,
you forward to the CEO and the right committees.
Right.
The committees will look into that issue.
Right.
They will generate recommendations
right.
to the council.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So basically, the mayor is getting information from the general public. I'll give you an example. There was a fraud at Ngala Lodge, 100,000. The owner of Ngala Lodge wrote to my office that he's been defrauded by a license collector. I wrote to the CEO to investigate the matter. I can write the same letter to the head of police or the internal audit unit or any committees of council. My role as a mayor is to facilitate, to ensure that things are going well. But in nowhere in that letter did I ask them to take any action on the person who's alleged.
Let me ask you, can you direct the police?
The police are under the office of the mayor.
Can you're referring to the KMC police, right?
Yes.
Okay, I am referring to the Gambia Police Force. You have ever written letters to the Gambia Police Force for investigations?
Several.
Did you direct them?
Say it again.
Did you direct them? Can you give them directives?
I cannot direct the police. I refer matters to the police, and
Why?
there's a referral.
Why can you not direct them?
I'm not the IGP.
Exactly. That's it. So directives are issued where they are due, where it is applicable. And in this case, because you are the mayor and you are the head of council, going by the law, so you were not mistaken. You chose your words, so that when you said repeatedly in several communications that you are directing the CEO, it can't be a language problem, Mr. Bensouda.
Lead counsel, I believe we are having a philosophical argument.
You can say that.
Administrative one.
You can say that.
I believe we are talking about apples and oranges.
Just answer the question.
I am answering the question perfectly, to the best of my ability, with utmost honesty.
Why then?
Administration.
Why did you not refer this case?
The execution.
You see, this is an interrogation. This is not an argument. Why did you not refer the matter to the General Council?
Madam Chair, if I can just say matter. I don't believe I can add any more as clear as I have. The mayor deals with governance policy with its relevant committees, etc. When I receive an issue from the general public, I will direct the right department to look into that matter. That does not mean administratively I am part of how they administer that matter. No. Why I am not?
Can we speak one at a time so that I can understand?
I am referring a complaint from a lawyer of a breach of code of conduct of one of our staff members. The CEO is the competent authority to deal with that matter. If it's a matter of fraud, I will send it to the police, municipal police, to investigate. If it's a matter of disaster, I will even send it outside. I can direct the NDMA officer at the council to look into the matter. But it doesn't mean I am part of the day-to-day administration of the council. This is why they said the mayor should supervise the general administration of the region. The CEO should supervise the administration of the council. These are clear rules. And if I can just finish my submission, that's why when we came into this office, we saw that there is a problem at the local government level. If the mayor was the executive, I will stand here and own up everything that has been happening at KMC. Because I am the executive, meaning when given responsibility, I should be held accountable. We have tried, submitted letters to the local government select committee at the parliament.
Yes, Mr. Bensouda, we are happy. We are happy to note that we have received these documents, which are essential. And the issue is, we are not in question about, it is not a question about you not giving directives. Because for us, our understanding of the legislations are that for you to effectively conduct your oversight, you must be able to direct. Am I correct?
Yes, on matters within my authority.
Yes. For me, it's general, because if you cannot direct, you cannot efficiently deliver. Because the CEO is answerable to you. And there are circumstances that the CEO cannot act without referring matters to you for either clarification, for advice, for direction. Would I be correct to make that assumption?
So, thank you, madam.
Yes. No.
Clarification.
We just want to understand. Yeah. You understand your perspective. It's not about looking at each issue with a legalistic perspective. You know why? Because at the end of the day, what all these legislations wanted to do was to simplify the steps and to help the management to be able to do and deliver on their mandate. But you have explained, when you started your evidence, as to the challenges you have. So we must be in a position to appreciate, you understand, to delineate, understand, and appreciate, you understand, your interventions vis-a-vis with what the law is saying. And how do we go forward with respect to that?
Absolutely.
If, for example, there is some very strong positions about, no, I did not interfere here, no, I interfered here. Look, I am always of the view that when you occupy an office, you must make mistakes. Because a human being, nobody is perfect. And when you take up an office, you find a lot of things. You find precedents, you find good precedents, you find bad precedents. You navigate within the system, you understand, until you pick up a perspective that will enable you do the job as per what is guiding you. Right? Our job here is just to look at the facts. You understand? And to come up with something realistic that would enhance tomorrow the execution of whoever is going to occupy that office, which is going to help you tomorrow. Right? Am I correct? So let's just, even if it takes you answering the question 100 times, answer the question. It's in the evidence. Right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we will look at the evidence.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right?
Thank you, ma'am.
So please proceed, Council.
Anyways, still back to the issue. And I will ask my question again. Why did you not refer the complaint from the lawyer to the council?
I referred the complaint from the lawyer to the competent authority, which at that stage was not the council, to do proper investigations and then generate their recommendations for the council, where we know what we would do after establishing the facts.
The law says that the CEO is answerable to council and not the committees, correct?
Yes.
Good. So that you refer the complaint to the body that the CEO is answerable to.
No, I refer the complaint to the competent authority to investigate that complaint, which is the CEO.
Which is the?
CEO.
The CEO.
Copied the establishment committee. I copied the establishment committee.
No, my point is, you as the chairman of council, sitting in council makes its decisions through resolutions, correct? You agree?
Yeah.
So that it is not what the mayor or the chairman or the mayoress, as the case may be, thinks. It is that which is discussed at council level and deliberated upon and perhaps voting done and decisions made and are passed through resolutions. So what you will direct in your supposed capacity as the mayor, when you told us yesterday that the CEO is not answerable to you, then it will be out of place, it will be wrong, going by your own analysis, to direct someone that you cannot direct. You agree with that?
I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Because I am not directing the CEO to take action. I am directing the CEO to open an investigation. Like I said, I believe we are having a philosophical difference. The issue with...
We do not have... Let me correct that. We don't have a philosophical difference. I am interrogating you. The hearing is an interrogation. It may not be pleasant. It's an interrogation. You and I are not having arguments for the sake of philosophy. I am asking you questions that you are mandated to answer. It's just that.
And I have answered that question several times. And I believe we are struggling to get an understanding. That's why I said I believe maybe what I'm saying...
I'm struggling to understand what?
Understood. What I am saying
What
is,
do you think I am struggling to
the council
understand?
does not operate.
No, let's go back to what you said.
The council does not operate in black and white. The council is a dynamic institution with many moving parts. Administering the institution is complicated. When we have matters, I as mayor must decipher what is in my purview and what is not in my purview. Issues of procurement, issues of which contractors to choose, issues of which staff to dismiss or which staff to discipline, how to discipline them. That is what we mean as the day-to-day administration of the council. I have no hand in it. That is why when I came, I saw the law was not concise. What I would have loved as mayor is to be in full control. I take responsibility where I have to. And I would have loved to be in full control of KMC.
Absolute
to
control.
hire every director, to fire every staff, to make sure every payment is made correctly. But looking at the laws, I feared a day like this will come.
You demand absolute
power. That's why I set up bodies, as per the law has allowed, with the competence to deal with matters as they come. These matters come in a very colorful and multifaceted way. I must decide what part would the mayor partake and where would the competent authority partake. When somebody from the general public comes and makes a complaint, because I am interfacing with the general public, they can make the complaint to the mayor, they can make the complaint to a councillor. The councillor must decide. They don't even have to come to the mayor. They can ask that the relevant body investigate, just like the mayor.
Mr. Bensouda,
so these are the distinctions I want to create. I don't want to create a confusion.
You genuinely believe you should have absolute power?
As per an executive, within the normal powers of mayors in international standards.
You should have absolute power?
Absolute, but within the normal executive powers.
You said it yesterday.
In terms of the management of the council. And I read you sections of the act where it says the council is the sole executive and can make all legislative decisions and executive decisions, whether rightly or wrongly.
Mr. Benson, do you understand what absolute power is?
That is why.
Do you understand what absolute power is?
Can I come?
Mr. Bensouda, you see, you do not talk at your own time, at your own pace, at any length you want. No, it does not work like that. See, if we are here to just allow you every question that you go and answer 10 minutes, that is not how it works, I'm afraid.
I believe if it took 1 hour, as far as it will help this commission, as far as it will generate clarity.
Just answer the question.
I'm answering the question.
Do you think that the council should have absolute power?
Within the remits of the law, yes.
Do you understand what absolute power is?
Within a context, yes.
What is absolute power?
It is the power to execute without fear or favor within the remits of the law.
No, absolute power is power that is unchecked.
No.
Absolute power means power that is unchecked. So I think what you should do, Mr. Bensouda, is council has a legal practitioner that you have hired, correct?
Yes.
Good. Have you been sending legal requesting for legal advices on paper to the lawyer?
I believe the lawyer is consulted frequently. I'm not sure whether it's paper or not.
Have you been writing to the lawyer as counsel requesting for legal advice?
I assume so, yes.
You assume, you're not sure?
The lawyer has written to us on legal advice several times, even to the minister, yes.
No, I am asking whether you have written to the lawyer in the event you have a misunderstanding of a provision, let's say, for instance, or a procedure that has to happen.
The CEO always writes to the lawyer.
Oh, good.
I always consult the lawyer before I take any decision in my realm of governance.
The lawyer is not representing Mr. Bensouda. The lawyer is representing council. Is that not the case?
And I'm a member of the council, and I chair that council. So before the council acts, I can say, I have asked the lawyer for advice. This is what the lawyer has advised. Our 3 cases with government, that is how we discussed it at the council, generate a resolution, and we won all 3 cases.
Do you have, congratulations, do you have the retainership agreement that you have signed with the lawyer?
I believe it should be with the CEO.
Do you have a copy here? In that retainership agreement, did it say that the lawyer serves as the lawyer for council and the mayor as well?
I am a member of the council. And
no, that's not the question. You see, that is not. So, Mr. Bensouda, I will not allow you to dictate the proceedings. You and I know that will not happen. You and I know it will not happen. Come today, come tomorrow. It will never happen. So that what you do is to answer questions. When you want to explain, you request that you want to buttress on a point and you explain it. But to think that I will allow you to dictate the procedures, it will not happen. We know it. You and I know it. I have never done it for any witness. It will never happen. It will not start today.
I have zero interest to dictate the proceedings.
Then answer
the laws and regulations of the proceedings.
Then when I ask you a question, answer the question.
It seems you are trying to dictate my answer, which I will not agree with. I have submitted my answer.
Exactly.
Yes.
So when I try to dictate your answer, don't allow it.
And that's what I'm doing.
Exactly. But to go on, like I said to you, a marathon of explanation after every question, it would not be allowed.
As much explanation for clarity
Yes.
as possible, lead counsel.
So I think that will be helpful. So I just want to stress the. Please look at this box. I just want to. Just want to clarify the point as to how the role of the lawyer, whether the lawyer is to advise both the mayor and a council, so that when the council deems it necessary to understand a provision or understand a certain process, legal process, they resort to the lawyer. So if that exists, I will want you to provide us with communications into the lawyer requesting for explanation. Requesting for explanation on those. Can you please answer the question?
I believe you cannot separate the mayor from the council. The mayor is the chairman of the council. I am not operating there as TALIB BENSOUDA. I am operating there as Lord Mayor of the Kanifi Municipal Council.
Mr. Bensouda,
when I solicit advice from the lawyer, I am soliciting advice on behalf of the council. I present that advice to the council, who will make decisions based on that advice.
Mr. Bensouda, you see, yesterday, this is the problem. Yesterday, when I had tried to show you, you have a responsibility because you were the head, you were saying clearly that you are not the council. Yesterday, you distinguish yourself clearly with the council, and today you cannot tie the marriage. It is not fair. So there you have the one of the retainership agreements in 2020. Is that the retainership agreement in 2020?
It says between Kanifi Municipal Council and Yasin Senghor, July 22nd, 2020, signed by Wuraba, Deputy Director of Administration. It seems so.
It seems so is not an answer.
Yes.
It's not a definitive answer.
That's why I said it seems so.
No, see, is that the retainership agreement between the council and the legal petitioner?
Would you like me to take it back and authenticate it?
Yes, if you want to.
I can do that. Yeah.
No problem.
Can I have this copy, or you'll make me a different?
We will give you a copy.
Thank you.
I believe that since this is not authenticated, we would request Lord Mayor to provide us with the original copy that they have, which will make it easier.
Chair?
Yes, please. Do you want this one to be authenticated?
As it stands now,
yes.
we will, it is the right of the witness to request for documents, and then as far as we are concerned, it is admitted into evidence by one of the CEOs as being the agreement between Kanifi Municipal Council and Yasin Senghor, and the signature of the lawyer is present in this document, and also the Deputy Director of Administration, Wuri Ba. We would invite any other document that is presented by the mayor that is authenticated, so that since the council employed the service of Yasin Senghor, the mayor and the witness can provide these documents. But as it stands, the CEO provided these documents, and there's nowhere here that it has shown that the advices from the legal petitioner can be given to the mayor, but
no,
to council.
I was asking because the mayor said he can authenticate this document. Yes. But since it's an already admitted document, you know, I think we have already admitted it.
It's already authenticated. It's already authenticated. So I do not know what he meant by authentication. It's already authenticated. It's already signed by Uriba for the Deputy Director of
let
Administration.
me just find out. Having perused the document,
Senghor.
having perused the document, is this the document that is the retainership between the council and Ms. Senghor?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
the reasons I said,
Yes.
I have to authenticate it.
Yes,
I did not sign the document.
yes.
I was not part of the process when they were negotiating the document. The lead counsel presented the document and in 2 seconds wants me to say whether it is the document or not in the affirmative. And that I cannot do without authenticating the document. That's why I responded. It seems so, I answered that he was not satisfied with. He wants me to say yes on a matter I cannot confirm.
It is not his responsibility, or it is not his call to be satisfied or not to be satisfied. His job is to ask questions and you to answer. Whether he is satisfied or not, that's beside the point. Because he is not the person that is going to decide anything. He is just putting the questions to you. So whether he is satisfied or not satisfied, his job is to ask you questions and to put to you what he believes and to test the documents that you have and to test the veracity of the evidence you are giving us. That is his responsibility.
Madam Chair,
All right, yes?
may I just say this to,
Yes.
to just settle this matter?
Yes.
I think there is already in evidence.
Yes.
The witness can provide to us the copies of the
Yes,
the
you will be
agreement
given
between-
the opportunity to cross-check and see whether this is a copy. So you can do that when we come tomorrow.
No, I was just saying
Yes.
that we have this agreement in evidence as an
Yes.
expert, so that should the witness request for a copy, we would not object to that. That's
Yes.
number one.
Yeah.
And number two, the agreement is provided by a competent witness, so that it stays in the hearing, and then we can suspend the discussion on this document and wait for the witness to come back tomorrow and present to us whatever he has.
Mayor Bensouda, is that fair enough? Do you want a copy?
I can ask for the
Do you want a copy, a photocopy of this
I
one?
can give a photocopy and just verify. The
Yes.
authenticity,
So the registrar will provide you a
fine.
copy before you go. All right. I believe it's a convenient point to stop, Council. Or do you have?
That's okay. We can come back tomorrow, Madam Chair.
We may rise.